I'm Jen, and welcome to Christian Fire Poppy. Today we are going to discuss the prophetic words uttered by Elder Bednar in 2011, 6 years before The Chosen had even been created. Now, there was a dedicatory prayer given at the set where this future series, The Chosen, would be filmed. And he also gave some very inspired words beforehand. So Elder Bednar, he dedicated the set where this series, The Chosen, depicting the life of Jesus Christ, would be filmed 6 years later. His words were profoundly prophetic, and the dedicatory prayer alluded to the set's destiny as a place where multiple Christian denominations would unite to create something extraordinary. So I will be sharing with you the exact words that he uttered, but before we do that, I want to just give those of you who don't know much about The Chosen a little bit of background. So, The Chosen is the largest crowd-funded media project in history, raising over $10 million the first season. This is also the first multi-season series about Jesus Christ. Unlike other portrayals of Jesus' life, The Chosen is the first ever multi-season TV show dedicated to his life and ministry. Now, this particular format allows for deep character development of not only Jesus, but also his followers, making their stories more relatable and personal. That's what I really love about The Chosen. I love watching it because even though it doesn't strictly stick to all the text in the Bible, it gives us kind of food for thought and in conversations to talk about, you know, do you think that Peter really felt this way? And, how might they have reacted in this situation? I also love the global reach. This series has been translated into over 60 languages, making it accessible to a global audience of over 400 million views. The creators made the series available for free, which is pretty awesome. They use a pay it forward way of funding it, and this free viewing can be found on the Chosen app. The Chosen is widely embraced by people of various Christian denominations, focusing on shared faith in Jesus Christ rather than theological differences. So it has a big cross-denominational appeal, which in turn has fostered more unity among viewers by focusing on Jesus Christ's love and his teachings. So if you're wondering when the latest season 5 of The Chosen, The Last Supper, is coming out, that will be March 27th, 2025. Now let's get into those words that Elder Bednar spoke 6 years before the first episode of The Chosen came out. Now he was dedicating the Goshen, Utah movie set, and these are the words that he spoke before giving the dedicatory prayer. He said, I feel to say that we seated in this tent today have no more idea about the influence for good that will come from the work that is conducted upon this set than a babe that sits in his mother's lap. This work will influence the world in a remarkable way, in ways we cannot possibly imagine now. So that was August 2011. Elder Bednar spoke those words to the people in the tent that day. And The Chosen would later come out on December 24th, 2017. Now, I was able to hear an excerpt from this dedicatory prayer that was given on this video. It was a Hello Saints video where Pastor Jeff was speaking with Dr. John Hilton, a BYU professor, and John Hilton reads from this dedicatory prayer, and this is what he says. He says, Elder Bednar dedicates the Goshen, Utah set, and he says, we also ask thee to bless other believers in the film industry that they will be touched and influenced to inquire how this set might be used to further goodness and righteousness through the earth. So, at the onset of this set that would later be used by the Chosen, that has been such a hit and success throughout the world, it was immediately introduced as its purpose being to unite believers and to bring unity amongst other denominations, that they might be influenced and that they would come to this set looking to use it, which absolutely happened. Now, The Chosen, it was filmed in Goshen, Utah. This is not the only set that The Chosen has used, but it was used for seasons 2, 3, 4, and 5. The TV series The Chosen has filmed there for multiple seasons, and it's a replica of Jerusalem during the first century. Now, I was curious about what the definition and meaning of the word Goshen is, and it's actually the part of Egypt occupied by the ancient Israelites before the Exodus. So it was a land or place of plenty and comfort. And I thought that was pretty cool considering this was a set that would, teach about the life of Jesus Christ and believers. So I like that tie-in. I also wanted to find out where Goshen, Utah was, where the set was. Turns out it is right here in the state of Utah, just south of Provo. Now, while we're on the topic of dedicatory prayers, I wanted to also share a few excerpts from the Los Angeles Temple dedicatory prayer. Now, this is a very fitting time to read these two excerpts, considering we have the inauguration happening very soon for America, and we just had those huge fires in Los Angeles. So let's get into what that dedicatory prayer says. It says, "We are grateful for this land of America, choice above all other lands, the freedom vouchsafed by the Constitution of the United States, which guarantees to every man the right to worship Thee in accordance with the dictates of his own conscience, made possible the establishment of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. O Father, may the American people not forget Thee. Help us to see the greatness of this country and to minimize its weaknesses. We express gratitude for the right of the people to resort to the ballot and for freedom to meet in legislative halls, to settle problems and disputes without fear of coercion of dictators, secret police, or slave camps. Help people everywhere to sense more clearly that government exists for the protection of the individual, not the individual for the government." And now this is where it talks about protection for the temple. It says, "Bless, we beseech thee, the President of the United States, his cabinet, the House of Congress, and the judiciary. Give the President health and wisdom needful for the leadership now placed upon him." Sorry, there was a little bit more about the President in America. Here's where the protection comes in. It says, "To this end, by the authority of the Holy Priesthood, we dedicate this, the Los Angeles Temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and consecrate it for the sacred purposes for which it has been erected. We ask thee to accept this edifice and to guard it from foundation to statue, protect it from earthquakes, hurricanes, tempestuous storms, or other devastating holocausts. We dedicate the ground." So let's not forget the poor victims of the Pacific Palisades fire. Now, if you want to donate to help the victims, I think that Mercury One, this is Glenn Beck's charity, is a really wonderful charity. And many of you also mentioned the Humanitarian Aid Fund at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That is always another great place where we can donate our money. One thing that I like about Mercury One is they say that this, when you give to the Pacific Palisades Fire Relief, that all of those donations, every last dollar is going to be put towards helping people that are in those fires. So this was another event of 2011. So not only were those remarks from Elder Bednar given in 2011, but this is also when Glenn Beck founded the charity Mercury One, and in 2022, Mercury One earned a 4-star rating and a 100% score from Charity Navigator, an unbiased charity evaluator. So it really is a great charity, and I have talked to some people that know the executives that run this charity, and they vouch for their integrity and their honesty, and just that they were amazing Christian people. So again, we have Glenn Beck who founded it, but then we also have interfaith coordination and people who are not members of our church, but just really good Christians that they go in to these sites. So they go to the Pacific Palisades area and they find out the best ways to get money into the hands of the people who need it most. So if you want to go to www.mercury1.org and you spell out, it's not the number one, it's ONE, so mercury1.org. Now let's talk about the inauguration. This is happening in just a few days. Now it's been all over the news. Many voices have voiced concern for the safety of President Trump and all of the people that will be involved at the inauguration. So let's remember to pray for the safety of all in attendance. And there is a polar vortex that is flooding into the area. So severe cold forces the Trump inauguration indoors for the first time in 40 years. It's also interesting that Trump's inauguration falls on Martin Luther King Day. So that overlap is actually pretty rare. You can see from this article, the two events are not expected to coincide again until January 2053. So let's remember to pray for safety and protection on Inauguration Day. And you can see these are a couple news articles, and the headlines read Trump inauguration potential target for threats. Trump inauguration puts security officials on high alert. All right, so let's keep all these things in our hearts. Let's do what we can to support those who have been affected by the fires. And thank you so much for joining me today. A Zion field of many fire poppies will inspire hope and joy in the gospel. So fire poppies pop up after fires. They provide beauty and they also help to prevent further destruction and erosion once the rains hit after the fires destroy everything. So join us for more fiery passion as we fly into the second coming of Jesus Christ. In Matthew 6:28, it says, Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow, they toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you? I'm also going to include the link. We have a continuing challenge to go to the temple as often as possible and to record as part of our challenge these ordinances to be a part of this group effort. So I will put that in the description box as well. Thank you.